Hello YouTube, it is Damien, it is Le Aquile Villano, the main save here with Palermo, and today in episode 12 we show you a masterclass in how to do business. As you know, we've had Dan on loan for a couple of years. He's been fantastic, he's a great player with Serie A potential that we looked at massively. We have been forever trying to make him as good of a centre back as he can. As you can see, he's got 17 positioning, 15 determination, decent marking, decent tackling, decent headering for this level, and will only improve at 19. Lastly, we've worked that pace to get that up to 12 to mask a little bit of the acceleration and strength, but at 6'4" has been absolutely amazing for us. As you can see, he's come up the level with us, got us promoted, and now, at the minute, 18 games played, is averaging a 7.11 in Serie B. He's definitely a guy you want playing in Serie A for you if we get promoted. Now, the great thing about this is Dan, if you go back to his name, apologies, go to information, we're in his favourite personnel and we're in his favourite clubs. I said this when we did this Tossin, I can never pronounce his last name, so we just kept calling him Tossin. He's now at Fulham now, was at Manchester City, I believe, beforehand. If we actually just go to Tossin, I'll show you the guy. There we are. Adaraobi, he's now at Dortmund on loan for 5 mil. That makes sense. But this guy, we actually got him in that little old mess on FM20. Did the same thing. We had him as a favourite player for 2 years, and we had him as a favourite personnel, and made him extremely interested in coming to us. And that time there, Tossin rejected like Benfica, Porto, rejected other Premier League clubs to come to little old mess, which was fantastic. Dan, as you can see here, because we're part of his favourite personnel and favourite club, has the same interest in doing Fulham, Dortmund, Sampdoria, all clubs in a better division than me, all clubs probably where he probably can grow that little bit better and play at a higher level. Instead, because he's been here for 2 years, he loves me, loves the club, he wants to talk a new deal. We've already had a deal in for him, and here he wants 3.7Ks a week at 4 years at a top salary rise. I'm actually just going to get rid of that and see if he takes that. Done. That is so easy for Dan. In he comes. For the rest of the year, we have him on loan for 7.75, and then we get a deal where we get him next year as our own player. Unbelievable. Tick that one off. We do have some disappointing news though. Pilzari wanted 10k a week, but wants me to be the club that he comes in for. Exceptional, that. Well done, buddy. We tried to talk him down to like 6k, 5k. It did not happen. Lastly, same situation by the way, he would come to me if he could. Right, and if I had the money. We now can only offer players like 1k a week. I did admittedly made a mistake with Bianchi, but needed to be done, but I made a mistake. He was only here for £750 a week, and obviously I didn't need to renew the contract to keep him on loan till the 6th of 2024, but the same situation, Genoa and Serie B, they're not having a good year. We're going up to the Serie A at the minute, it could all change. I've made a new loan bid, I've got him on 2.2k a week, with the intention of we get promoted, he plays in Serie A for us, and with 6 months left on his deal, we then sign Bianchi on a free. And look how good the kid is at 22. Would be our own player at 24, could still grow, gets a year at 23 in the Serie A if we get promoted. So the business and the masterclass of the business being done, as Dim puts the masterclass tab in there. For those that haven't seen this little meme that JS made, there you go, JS. I put it in a YouTube video for you. The Damo Masterclass has been done. Look how good they are all looking. Look how fantastic we are at the minute. Sad news is Giovinco's leaving. But yeah, look, Bianchi tied down to the end of his contract with Genoa at the minute. So as long as Genoa do not renew, we, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, could hopefully get Bianchi on a free next year. And we've got Dan officially coming on a free as our own player next year. The only issue is we do not have the money for Pilzari, but there is a world where we could get him. At the end of the season, we get promoted, we get all the money and the new budgets and everything, and if he hasn't got a contract by then, Milan hasn't tied him down, we can probably go in for him and tie him down as our own player. We'll say, of course, though, Pilzari, we do have Lucas Perry, who's a good little keeper that we got for 18k. And be quite fair, if this guy played in Serie A, would probably develop into a very good keeper. I love that he's 6'5" and 207 pounds because he can just throw his weight around. He's physically a monster. But ideally, you prefer Pilzari because he's a better shot stopper. If you compare the pair in a YouTube episode, which we've done previously on stream, I'll show you the same thing, just even by the graph here. Better shot stoppers, Pilzari's better speed, better physically, better in communication, better in the air, even though Perry's got a bit more height and jumping reach. Pilzari's got that bit more commandness about him. But yeah, look, so far, a bit of a transfer masterclass. We have no real money to spend. The club's not letting me spend anything. You guys can't see that because of my face, but actually, if I just blurt out the webcam, there we are. 70k is what we're committed to spending next year. 65k is the allowed budget. So the board probably, if I go to the club vision, they're happy for now, but they won't be happy for next year. But yeah, look, Dan's in the van. I love that. You've got to love seeing Dan in the van. Secondly, we have got Bianchi in till the end of next season, which is fantastic. That's when his contract expires. We could do this with Bianchi, and that would be fantastic. And of course, Pilzari could be an option, but we need things to go our way. And look, there's interest in Almichi, so if he leaves, I would probably put it into there. In terms of what we're going to do in this episode is I will come back with any big transfer news. Since we last met, of course, as well, beat Torino 5-2. Drew 0-0 to Genoa, who are not having a good year, but a 0-0 there is a good result. And we beat Provasili 4-0. Mamadou Tonkora is just a little bit of a goat. He's goated at this level. 20 goals in 19 games. I'm probably going to come back, I don't know, Spezia maybe, because we didn't beat him last time out. We drew to him, so I might give you a Spezia game as well in this episode, just to show you at the end of the window whereabouts we sit as well, and if we're doing any business, and then pick and choose our games accordingly with the run-in, and if we're still fighting for the title, etc., etc. By the way, it's a 9-point gap. We should be in from this position at a minimum fighting for promotion, but we are also still a team that was newly promoted. It could be the second half of the year that we start losing all the games and injuries and all that happen, and we don't get promoted. I actually don't mind that, but in this position, being 9 points clear, top of the tree, looking amazing, promotion is definitely the goal. And look, back-to-back is well and truly on, and even more so with the tactical transfer masterclass that Damo's done. There's the tip for you in this episode. If you want a player, but you can get him on loan, and their contract expires in a couple of years' time, loan him till that period, make him your favourite player personnel in their personnel screen, make the club their favourite, and I tell you what, it increases your chance of signing by 80-90% on a pre-contract, and that's what we're doing with Dan in this episode. Welcome back, YouTube. The transfer masterclass continues. Pilzari has got a contract accepted with us. He realised that he didn't get what he wanted, the 10k for down first time, so he wanted then 8k. I've got him down to 6.25. We have a relegation release fee of $1 million, which is definitely very cheap, but that is $1 million worth of profit. And domestic clubs in high divisions a $2.5 million release fee. Now, if we get promoted, which at the minute we would, right? There's no other teams in high divisions that can do that. So that's well below his value, because he's probably, when he signs a deal for us, be at 4 to 6 mil would be my guess. 3-year deal, 6.25, gets 185k signing on fee, but that's 18k for this season and then 200k over time with obviously the agent fee. That's fine. Look, he gets a top salary rise of 35%. That doesn't bother me, man. Get him on 8k a week in the Serie A. Get it done. Another one of these pre-contracts where the player is my favourite player and favourite supporter is fantastic. Now, we are going to continue a day because there hasn't been a contract offered for him yet by any club that was interested, and then all the interest just went away. Second, we have to talk about results in a second because we do have Spezia who are in 4th coming up. We are still top, but we have dropped points this season. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see if there's no murmurs of a new contract. That's fine. I said on stream that this is the most dangerous game that we're going to play in Teller. You got to remember, a lot of these games in our massive run, right, where a lot of those games are like games like every 6 days, every 3 to 6 days, right? A lot of momentum being carried over, just game after game after game. There's no time to think about what we're achieving. After Provasili, we have a few weeks off, right? Everything kind of resets. The bigger clubs get all their players in. They know that there's not as much fixture congestion second half of the year, etc., etc. And for us, all that momentum stops. We kind of get to think about what we've done, what we want to achieve. So I said at the time, and Teller's dangerous because they're having a good year in their own right because they're 13th and they're newly promoted like us. But secondly, and more importantly, this would be the type of game we'll go out there, believe in our own hype, and we'll get done. And look, very unlucky in terms of we had 14 shots, only put 2 on target. They only had 1 shot on target that went in. But they had 70% of the ball. They kind of just got their goal and just said, we're just going to pass it around the back and keep it. And we just played on the break solely and had a million chances to do it. But at the end of the day, we only put 2 shots on target. You're probably not going to win a game of football unless both go in. We then turned it around against Lecce and absolutely pumped him. Bianchi got a brace. Tonkora, by the way, missed about 5 1-on-1s, 4 1-on-1s, and we're not exaggerating. It was ridiculous how many 1-on-1s he missed. But look, it is what it is. Giovinco didn't start because he had an injury cloud, but We did bring Lucas Perry off the bench to keep him happy, but Bazzari is going to keep on. Is going to take this contract. That is no problem there. So that leaves us top. Benevento did win the game after we lost to Intella, which was no good, but they then played before us and drew. So the gap is 8 points, which is 3 games worth of football. And if we can keep that gap like that, it's not bad. Monza's 9 points back. Spezia are 11 points back. If we can beat Spezia, we're in a really good spot to finish at least top 3. Like, there's a lot of games of football after that. There's a lot of good teams to play, and our form could be subject to injuries. Mamadou Tonkora scoring goals, Bianchi still going, Giovinco still getting assists in his final year of professional football. But you give me this points gap with under half the season to go, just under half the season to go. I predict us to do our thing. Lastly, more importantly, our committed spending at the moment is up to 78k for next year. The board are going to kill me. I do not care, because at the minute for this year, we're working within our payroll. It's just next year's payroll, and they've got to give me more money there. Anyhow, though, we have now officially got an offer in for Pilzari. It's fantastic. It's absolutely superb. So Pilzari is not in the van yet. Dan's already in the van. Lock him up. He's done. Pilzari looks like he's coming into the van, and Bianchi's been tied down for another year loan. It's a pretty good transfer little masterclass, this. And hopefully, fingers crossed, we beat Spezia in a few days' time. And you'll see that in just a second, YouTube. Don't go anywhere. Well, about YouTube, it is time for us to play Spezia, but 2 hours before the game, we have the announcement of Alessandro Pilzari, the 22-year-old goalkeeper from AC Milan, is officially a Palermo player. He will be obviously on loan here for the next, for the rest of the season for, I think it's like a couple K is his current contract. 1.7, there you go, it was pretty close. And then he will officially become our own goalkeeper next year. That is insane for us. It's absolutely out of this world, and I cannot wait to see how he develops as well, because look, he's been fantastic, developing 16 1-on-1s, physically a monster of a keeper, makes a good decision, doing everything he can at the minute to really learn. He's currently learning his tactical side of things, and look, I think that's been really good for him. I think now is a time to maybe working on something else. What's his reflexes at? 15, anticipations 14, concentration is 9. Which is not good. Handling, composure, technique. What's his composure? 13. Technique is 7. No. Don't want to get him any distribution. Maybe we'll leave him what he's on. Get his communication, his decisions up, and his positioning up as high as possible. If he can get 15 positioning and there's 16 1-on-1s, he's going to make a lot of saves for us in Serie A. If we get there, like we're talking about us getting to Serie A, that's still a foregone conclusion, right? Like that's a long way to go until that is what's happening. But we'll wait and we'll see how we go. In terms of Benevento, they're playing at the same time as us, I would imagine. Yeah, they are. So, Lecce, who we just beat, hopefully can do a job against Benevento for us. That would be nice. Because every game that we stay top of the tree is one game less that we have to get to win Serie B, right? And that's how you got to think about it. Just one game at a time. The longer you're there, the better it is. And there you are. In terms of the team, we'll have to make a couple of changes. Perry obviously can't play because he played in the under-20 game. That's fine, because he wasn't going to play in this one, let's be honest. Philippe's going to have to go in there for Amici because he's suspended. And even though Lewis is in some sort of form, Giovinco is the man, the myth, the legend, and obviously has to go in and play. So Pilzari, Missouri, Dan, Giuseppe, Breccalo, Oja, Aloy, the Mrs. Giovinco, Mamadou, and Bianchi. All I'm going to say is this, is that if we play to our form, it's good. But if we lose the Spezia, things become interesting yet again. Off we go. I'm hoping. Score predictions in the chat. We're obviously live on Twitch, of course, as well. And hopefully, we will be okay. We are going to go out there, set the boys alight, into the dressing room, into the tunnel. Scoring matters first. And Amici suspended. It's not ideal. And to be quite fair, we don't want to see Amici miss a game like this. They are playing 5 at the back, but in a 4-3-3 system. Verde, by the way, is a very good winger to watch out for from Spezia. But look, this Diamond's been sensational, just overperformed so much, and maybe it's the way to move forward. Maybe we've already found the game breaking system is the Diamond this year. Who knows? But yeah, they're in the white, we're in the pink and the black. Of course we are. And look, we just need to go out there and do our job. If we go out there and do our job, not a problem. Is this a game we'll take a draw in? Because of the league table, it's not the worst game to draw in, because at least then it's not 3 points lost. The Benevento would only be 2. And we know Spezia are good, and especially without Amici at right back. But I think we're going to be in and around us scoring goals. It just depends if they score, and they have. So now we need to get a goal. And Elio gets a goal. I'm just going to put it out there. We lost away from home against Entella. We're playing away from home against Spezia and we're losing 1-0. It may be the case the second half of the year we win all our games at home, we don't win a game away from home, because we had a run like that at La Coruña, my Twitch save last year on FM, towards the back end of FM21, where we had a whole year we only got 2 wins away from home. But yeah, we're yet to have a shot. What's going on here? We have looked pretty poor. This is not good at all at the minute. Start the second half. This has just been very poor from us. Look, all I will say is that at the minute I have no real confidence in us seeing this out, considering this is how it's going. Spezia are all over us, and we're not even getting really any highlights. Alright. Lewis is in some form. We're going to get Giovinco in there. Make that one change. See if that picks the lock. We need to trust the system, like, let's be honest. Not really working that at the minute. Angelina hopefully help bomb on is not bad. Let's just do that, and leave Bianchi in there. My cousin, okay, cancel. Yeah. Put him as a shadow striker. See if we can get something out of this. A bit of a shot on sight as well. Pass it into a bit of space. See if we can find something late. We need to get some shots away, so see what we can do. So I'm ticking away here. We do not deserve anything out of this. It's going to be another loss away from home unless Bianchi scores from this far out. Doesn't. So our only highlight we've had all game. Lecce beating Benevento in the 90th minute. Wow. I'm sorry, cheeky dog. I'm on my feet. Highlight here. We need to win the ball.
Was it alright?
Yeah, it was good. Leo Senna, Verde. Nah, Garcia's there. Game over. Oh, he's put it over the bar, but it's still going to be game over, isn't it? Corner. 93rd minute. This could be massive in the context of this year. Good ball in, please, Lewis. Ball in, back stick. Cleared away. Oh, what? You're going to give me a pointless highlight like that? Come on, FM. Why would you do me dirty like that? For all the hours I spend playing here, you're going to do me dirty like this. Mamadou Tonkora straight at Zoet. So we played 2 away games since the turn of the season. We lost both. Against Entella, we got FM'd. Here we were the worst side. I'm just going to I'm going to go out there on a limb. We are currently going out there preparing for us for Serie A. We're going to worry about Serie B fucking football. Because apparently Mo's been booked 15 times this season. Jesus Christ. All right. Look, the fact that Benevento lost is massive, but Spezia have jumped them. Monza have a chance to get to 45, which is only 6 points gap. Things are getting close. Things are getting interesting. Next episode is going to be a game where we play a few of these teams. But at the minute, at the start of this episode, I was definitely in my head going, we got a gap. We're good. We've only lost 1 game all year. Here we go. I've played 3 games since the turn of the season. We've already lost 2. Something tells me the second half of the season isn't going to go to script. It's not going to go how it went the first half. Something tells me the second half of this year is going to be a bit of a slog, a little bit of a tight little fest. And if it gets like that, I'm going to tell you right now, ladies and gentlemen, we do not have the quality to get promoted. But if we can turn it around, we get a few wins back to back, beat Regina, beat Como, beat Peruga, get in the Spo and Bari, you know, with a few wins under our belt, maybe, just maybe, we'll recover some form. At the minute, we're going down a very slippery slope. But don't let that deter you from the fact we've done some amazing transfer business for the future of the football club. Few big names being tied down for at least a year worth of loans, and of course, obviously, Pilzari and Dan coming on in as our own players of next season. Where will we finish? Is it still top spot? Is it still second? I did say that I didn't think we we're going to be in this position, and then we were in this position. At the start of the episode, I would have said, you know what, we see this out. After this just happening, and the fact that we've lost a couple of games on the bounce, or 2 out of our last 3. I'm going to say we're going to finish maybe 6th or 7th. We're going to slide down that low, and playoff spot maybe to go and maybe go for the puzzle to get up. Who knows? But it shouldn't be the goal this year. But the fact we're in this position, if we threw this away, it would hurt. From Damon and everybody else, I'll see you next time for another episode of Let Aquile Volano, the main save here with Palermo. When we finish, you let me know in the comment section. See you next time. Thank you and goodbye.